Do you find it slightly inappropriate when I show up here in my robe? Does it bother you? Or do you appreciate it? Do you appreciate the fact that I show up here? No filter, no makeup, nothing fake, just all the real coming at you. I'm going with the latter. Because sometimes we have important things to say and they don't have time. And you know what? There's so much more to women than being pretty. Anyway, I'm not gonna get on that soapbox. But I'm coming on because I want to talk about how complicated holidays are. I spent the evening last night, Christmas Eve, with some family, and it was hard, you know? It's hard because people are complex and families have history, and the people who, like our close family, can test our triggers, and I shouldn't say test, they activate our triggers. You know what I mean? Like, they're the people who we can love the most, and they're the people who we can be most challenged by, right? It's crazy. But during these holidays, we want to find what works for us. And I'm Annie, and so I'm not here for doing what works, to keep the peace. I'm not a peacekeeper. I didn't sign up for that this round of life. I am an activator, right? I'm an activist in a sense. I am here to activate greater truth and love and to get rid of anything that's disempowering or rooted in inequality. So, that shit's bound to come up. There's bound to be situations where somebody says something or does something that either, positions men above women, or, others a group of people, or makes fun of somebody for being different, or refuses to take responsibility, or refuses to acknowledge perhaps a harmful or disrespectful way of being present in a situation, right? Here's my advice to you. I am not here for the people, like I said, I am not here for the people who just want to keep the peace. If you are a peacekeeper, find a Buddhist person perhaps to follow. Not me, right? I am here for the people who say, you know what, Annie? I'm tired. I'm tired of the patriarchy. I'm tired of women feeling like they can't show up as their fullest self. I'm tired of being afraid to speak my truth. I'm here for you people, okay? Men or women, across the board. Because we all have masculine and we all have feminine energy, okay? We've got both. This is twofold, spending time with families. One is that when we practice alignment, right, we learn how to move from just tolerating people in our family that drive us batshit crazy to aligning with them, right? So we move from a state of like resistance to, okay, the good parts of this person I am going to enjoy, right? The good parts of this person I'm going to let myself celebrate. I'm not going to stay so deeply rooted in judgment of this person that I won't even let myself see any of their good, right? So alignment asks us to focus on what's good and to focus there, right? So focus on what's good, to really focus there. Keep your attention there, okay? The second part of alignment is your own inner alignment, right? So like honoring what you need in that moment. And here's what we won't tolerate. We will not tolerate disrespect, whether it's disrespect towards you, towards another person, towards the environment, towards animals, towards children, whatever. No disrespect, okay? We can coexist in a way where we don't disrespect one another. But, some people think that they have the right to be disrespectful to other people, and they don't. They've just been given, they learn to get comfortable in that lane, because those of us who have a problem with it, sometimes we can get caught up in calling people out because it can be scary, right? And uncomfortable. So your own inner alignment. So we're not going to tolerate disrespect, right? We're not going to tolerate dysfunction. We're not going to tolerate, let's just stay there. I think that's big enough for us to work on today. So we're not going to tolerate disrespect, and we're not going to tolerate dysfunction, okay? Because we don't have to, and nor should we, right? We can all be in this world in our own way, living life in a way that feels good for us without harming others, disrespect, without without expressing ourselves in a way that creates fear or insecurity or feelings of unsafety with other people. Dysfunction, right? The flip side of that would be dysfunction. So here's my advice for you, my thoughts for you. As a fellow person who I find it really difficult to turn a blind eye when people make racist jokes or when people say things that are downright disrespectful to another person. I have a really, really hard time just being like, no. For many years, my response, I lashed out sometimes, right? And sometimes that lashing was well-deserved, and I was made to feel like I was wrong. And sometimes that lashing came from my own built-up lack of expression of my frustration. And so the person on the receiving end received something that wasn't really theirs. So there's the background work of, if you're going to be a person who is here, who is committed to creating a better world for all people, you got to do shit to manage your own energy. You've got to do shit to move your emotions and your inner frustrations so that when you are in presence with other people, you are responding to the now and not responding from a wound, okay? So if, let's say, you've done the work and you're able to respond from the now with someone in your family, what do? Well, before you do anything, you take a breath, right? And you listen to your truth, and you remember that the goal is not to be right? I'm not going to prove to you. I don't need you to agree with me that what you're saying is disrespectful. I don't care if you agree or disagree. I'm not here to be right? But I am here to be honored. So you can say you don't find that to be disrespectful. And if you want to be in relationship with me, I'm going to need you to treat me this way. So you don't have to agree, right? But you do have to honor my truth. And my truth is that it's disrespectful. So what I need you to do is to not, talk about this person, this group of people, blah, 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 in this way when I'm around. And if you don't feel like you can do that, well, then we're going to have to find another solution, right? Which could be me not coming around. So find a way to, like I said, take a breath, right? Remember that people don't have to agree with you. They don't have to agree that what they're saying, oh, I'm not racist. Okay, you're not. And I don't want to hear that kind of talk, right? So if we're all going to be together and we all want to create a safe space for everybody to come together, then I'm going to need you to not make those jokes. There's so many other things that we can talk about. Do we really have to talk about that? Because if you're going to talk about that, I'm going to express my truth. You're expressing your truth. I'm going to express my truth. And my truth might make you uncomfortable, and then I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. Those of us that bring the light, those of us that bring the truth, capital T, those of us that stand for love, for empowerment for all, for equality and equity for all, we are not the problem. Although we can be made to feel that way in our families if we're here to disrupt generational bullshit and we're here to change the world, which is what we're here to do. So you are not the problem. You get to have your opinions. You get to speak your truth. And when you are in relationship with others, I don't care if it is Uncle Frank that you only see once a year, right? If we're going to choose to come together as a family, then we're also going to choose to treat each other with respect and love. That's what we're going to do. And if we can't do that, then the person who can't seem to play by our rules of engagement might need to do a little update. But me calling out the truth and standing up for myself, this could be you too, right? We are not the ones who are not following the rules of engagement, right? The discomfort that other people feel by the truths that we say are not the problem. The problems are what the people are saying that are clearly rooted in disempowerment, a lack of love, disconnection, othering, judgment, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on and on, okay? So align with, stay focused on the good of people. Celebrate that. Really like go into it. Like if you've got a mother-in-law that you're like, fuck, how am I going to do this? Pause and think about, okay, well, what is it about this person that I appreciate? What do they bring to the world, to my family, to the relationship that they're in with my mom or my dad or whatever, right? That to my husband, to my wife, to my partner, what do they bring that I can remember and appreciate? Because they're not all bad. So expand judgment, right? And then know where your boundary is, right? Where do you let people bend and where do you break? Know that. And you'll only know that, you may not intellectually know that, but you may know that by the inner sense of feeling, right? So you're like, I'll let that go. I'll let that go. Hell no. And that is where we cross. That's sweet, right? So like last night there was a comment made and there was some disrespect implied about my dad, right? And that was breaking point. You don't get to do that. So know where you bend and know where you break. And if you break, if something happens and it pushes you to that breaking point, how do you want to express yourself? Okay? And women, this is for the women. You don't have to be nice. You get to be angry. You get to be full of passion and fire. And you get to blaze a trail through the bullshit. Okay? So don't think that you have to sit there and be Mother Teresa or deliver it in a way that is politically correct. You deliver it the way that you deliver it. And then once you deliver it, you sit down with yourself later on and you reflect on it. What did I do well? And where's my growth? And you keep it moving. But you don't not respond to the bullshit that people are saying or doing because you're afraid that you're going to be messy in your delivery. Be fucking messy. You got to start somewhere. Be messy and then reflect. And then do better next time. That's it. Our world is changed by us changing as individuals. And we are a collective, which means that we have a duty to one another, which means that when I see your shadow, your bullshit hanging out, I'm going to let you know. And vice versa. When you see my shadow, my bullshit hanging out, let me know so I can be better, okay? Interdependence, healthy interdependence, a healthy community doesn't shy away from evaluating, paying attention to, holding people accountable for, critiquing, right? We're not afraid of that. We're not afraid of feedback in a healthy state of being. That's not always the truth that we hear. So, all of that to say, go forth, dear friends, and do your work to align with the good of people, right? Don't just focus on what they do wrong. Find the shit that they do. That's good because you know it's there. And pay attention to yourself and ask yourself, do I got to speak on this? Is this something that I need to address? Am I bending or am I breaking? And if you break, if it goes too far, express yourself and say it. Because the damage that will happen to you, for you not speaking your truth, is far greater than the damage that may come by you expressing your truth to somebody else, right? You matter. You matter. Your inner world matters. So I'm getting emotional. Weird. So go forth and speak your truth and stand for love and stand for truth and don't compromise and don't be afraid. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Do it anyway, because we are the builders of a new world. We are the builders of a world rooted in compassion, in empathy, in inclusion. We are the builders. So we got to show up. So, from my heart to yours, from my vision and my dream of a world to yours, I hope that you have a successful Christmas, and that you honor and speak exactly what you need to honor and speak, and you show up for you, and you love people to the best of your ability, and you cut yourself some slack, and you let your authenticity come through. Like me crying on a video, I don't even know what I'm crying for, because I feel like this is like a rally call. Thank you for watching. I'm Annie from Beacon Empowerment. Send me a message if this resonated. Let me know about a situation in your family where you had to stand up and speak truth, where you broke and you let people know where you were at. Tell me about your ability to align with the good and expand your practice of judgment so that you can move from just tolerating people to enjoying them at times. Let me know. Let me know how you're doing there out in the world. I'm going to, I don't know, wash my face now. I don't know. But I'm going to have a wonderful day, and I hope that you do too. And I love you, and thank you for listening. And I'm here for you. We're here together, and let's make a world that we want to make. Let's make it. Let's make it. And it starts in everyday interactions right now.